Now, you may be familiar with Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like one of the most popular books in the world. It's actually the first book about business and investing that I read that really just changed the way I saw my life, or at least the financial trajectory of my life. The truth is, the book was at a Goodwill, and I used to always go to my local Goodwill, of course, to just buy clothes because I didn't have a lot of money for church, clothes for church, like, suit jackets, blazers. And I would also go into the book section back then. We're talking about around 2000, 2001, like 25 years ago. They used to have books in the back. You could buy books for like a quarter, 50 cents. I mean, I literally go in there with $2 and come out with like 7 or 8 books. So it was a great opportunity because I'm a self-learner, I'm self-educated, and I worked as a cook at the time. And I was just trying to figure life out. I was trying to figure out how I was going to make money. And I ran across this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read it. I had to read it a couple times before I started understanding the concept. But this quadrant that he had in there as a diagram, and he explained that the E was for employee, the S was for self-employed people, the B was for business owner, and the I was for investor. And of course, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad series, he recommends that you do whatever you need to do as quick as you possibly can to get over here into this section of being an investor. Why? Because in terms of your taxes, right here, I was looking for my red marker, in terms of your taxes, you're going to pay the less taxes. So he was putting a lot of emphasis on being an investor, you pay less taxes. Being an employee, you pay the most taxes, right? So in terms of taxes, this is the lowest and this is the highest. And then he starts breaking down certain nuances. Well, of course, this is 25 years later. Since then, one of the lessons that I teach my mentees, those who are in our coaching program called the Millionaire Blueprint, this is one of the core lessons that we teach about the 4 different profiles or personalities of people. So it's really an extraction from the Rich Dad series. It's just my way of explaining it to differentiate the profiles and the mentalities of a person who may be playing all 4 roles to some extent. So we have the laborer. This is an individual who works for a business. So very similar to an employee. Of course, they're going to be taxed more, but we're talking about a mentality. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to start there, but you don't necessarily have to end there. And I have employees who are considered laborers working for my business, but they're not thinking like laborers. They're thinking like investors because they understand the purpose of the money that they're making as a laborer. And this is what I'm differentiating from the quadrant of Rich Dad, because I want to break down the mindset, the profile behind the person. So you have laborers who work for a business. You have operators who work in a business, which could easily symbolize a self-employed individual because they basically own a job. That's it. And then you have CEOs who, of course, would symbolize the business owners. And the difference between the CEO and the operators and laborers is they don't work for the business, they don't work in the business, or they don't just work for the business or just work in the business. They're trying their best to work on the business, where most CEOs or business owners never even get around to working on it. Because why? They're too overwhelmed working in it and working for it. And then you have the investor who works above it. Now, again, when you look at these 4 profiles, personalities, characteristics of an individual, it's about the mentality. It's about the information. It's about the applied knowledge. It's about how this individual positions themselves within a business system, within a business community, within the marketplace? How do you position yourself in order to be able to operate above the laborer, the operator, or the CEO? We're not talking about controlling people. We're talking about using business systems as leverage so that you can remain above. This is one of the reasons why I put so much emphasis on starting and structuring a holding company. Because when you start and structure a holding company, you automatically, from a structural perspective, position yourself at the top or above the business systems that may require CEOs, that may require operators, that may require laborers, but you don't bottleneck yourself and limit yourself to that type of operation. Now, I'm not going to go deep into the weeds of this concept, but I wanted to share enough with you related and associated to the more common Rich Dad quadrant, but to at least open your eyes to the endless possibilities of what you can do when you understand the holding company concept, how to apply it, and position yourself with it so that you can get out of the rat race of working for your own business or someone else's business, working in your business or someone else's business, working on your business or someone else's business, so that you can work above that business or that ecosystem of businesses or that system. It's very, very powerful. It's life-changing, and it has changed my life and the lives of many mentees that I work with. If you want more information on how to start and structure your holding company, maybe you already have operating companies and you want to reposition them and reorganize them so that they can make sense for you to be above, not on, in, and for, click the link in the description, and we'll be more than happy to take a few moments to speak with you over the phone. We can conduct a strategy call to see if you're a good fit for what we're doing in our Millionaire Blueprint program. I'll see you in the next video.